Today's lesson is to use sum and difference identities to verify. First of all, let's talk about sum and difference identities. We have sin A plus B equals sin A cosine B plus cosine A sin B. For sin A minus B, we got sin A cosine B minus cosine A sin B. Let's look at the pattern. For sin A plus B, we got the SC, CS. C stands for cosine, S stands for sine. It's a plus. It's the same. For sin A minus B, we got SC, CS. This part is minus, so we got the minus. That's the pattern. Then we can write down these two angles as A, B, AB, AB, and AB. In other words, we got the sin A plus minus B. We got SC plus or minus CS. AB, AB. The same way to analyze this cosine, sum, and difference identities. If we have a plus, then this is minus. We have minus here, we got the plus. Pattern will be C, C, S, S. Therefore, we got cosine A plus or minus B. We will get C, C, S, S. Change the sign, minus plus. Then we write down the angle A, B, A, B. Now we use sum and difference identities to verify each reduction identities. For A, we got the left-hand side. Cosine, that means we will get the CCSS plus sine. Pi theta, pi theta. Therefore, we got the cosine pi, cosine theta, plus sine pi, sine theta. Students have a hard time to figure out cosine pi and sine pi. Let's do this way. First of all, think about unit circle. Label as 0 pi over 2 pi, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi. Now we need coordinates for this unit circle intersects the x-axis and the y-axis. We got 1, 0, 0, negative 1, 0, 0. For this part, we got 0, 1, undefined. 0, negative 1, undefined. Remember, the pattern for coordinate is CST, cosine, sine, tangent. Cosine, sine, tangent. Cosine, sine, tangent. Therefore, for cosine pi equals negative 1. And sine pi equals 0. For 3 pi over 2, we got cosine 3 pi over 2 equals 0. And sine 3 pi over 2 equals negative 1. Therefore, we plug in cosine pi, that's negative 1. Cosine theta, plus sine pi, that's 0, sine theta. This will be 0. So negative 1 times cosine theta will be negative cosine theta equals the right hand side. Let's go to B. For sine, this is subtraction. We have SC, CS, same sign. Do the pi theta. We got left hand side equals sine pi cosine theta minus cosine pi sine theta. Then we plug in. For sine pi, that's 0, cosine theta, minus cosine pi, that's negative 1 times sine theta. 0 times cosine, that's 0. Negative means positive, so we got sine theta. That's the right hand side. So we finish this proof. For E, we have cosine 3 pi over 2 minus theta, which means CCSS plus 3 pi over 2 theta. 3 pi over 2 and theta. Therefore, we get started from the left-hand side. You got the cosine 3 pi over 2 cosine theta plus sine 3 pi over 2 sine theta. So we got cosine 3 pi over 2, that's 0, cosine theta, plus sine 3 pi over 2, that's negative 1 sine theta. This will be 0. Then we got negative 1 times sine theta is negative sine theta equals right hand side. We finish this proof. Now go to F. For cosine pi over 2 plus theta, that's a CCSS. Then this is a negative. We got pi over 2 theta. Pi over 2 theta. Therefore, from left hand side equals cosine pi over 2 cosine theta minus sine pi over 2 sine theta. Plug in cosine pi over 2, that's 0, cosine theta, minus sine pi over 2, that's 1, times sine theta. You will get negative sine theta equals right hand side.